Hey, what's up everybody? Welcome back to another video. Today we're going to be working on the budget boat build. As y'all saw in the intro, I've got it flipped upside down, and right now I'm just working on getting this paint majority of the way off. You see how it's not, paint's still on here, but I'm trying to get it down to the aluminum. And then what I'm going to do is seal up all these rivets, and then I'm going to paint the whole exterior of the boat. Alright, so I got the majority of the boat sanded down to get that paint off, besides this side right here and then that middle area. I got to get that middle and this side, this whole side right here, and then touch up these areas. And I got to get the bow, and I got to get the stern. Once I get the bow and the stern, that side, that middle area, and kind of just touch up a little bit, then what I can do is get some rubbing alcohol or something like that. I'm gonna use something like that, just to go through and clean up all this. I'm gonna blow it off and then come through and clean up all this residue off of it. As you can see, it's really thick on there. Once I get all that done and get it cleaned and get it prepped, then I can go through and epoxy all these rivets. Just gonna go through and put a little dab of epoxy around them, and once I do that, then we can let that set, clean it off again, and then go through and put that paint on it. And once we get it painted, then we can let that sit, and then we can flip the boat over and start working on the interior. What I'm gonna do is kind of just knock the paint off again, clean it, then I'll have to run some conduit to run the electrical wires through to the bow lights and the stern lights, and run speaker wires up to the front. And then I got this foam. It's 1 inch foam, but I need 2 inches of it, so I got 2 of them right here. And we'll have to cut that to fit between the struts that run through it, run across the boat, you know, and fill that in and cut it around the conduit and all that. And then we can start laying out and cutting the sheet of aluminum I got right here as the floor. And I'm gonna build a deck as well. It had a deck on it, but I ripped it down. It was crappy. It was so wobbly and all that. And this boat originally had wood for the floor, and the wood was just so old and rotten, and waterlogged that it wasn't good, and it made the boat super heavy. So I'm gonna go through and put that aluminum in, make it lighter, and that foam in there so it won't hold water. And then we can start putting it all back together. Got to do getting the paint off of this, epoxy the rivets, paint the bottom and the sides and the bow and the stern, flip it over, clean off the paint on the inside, lay the foam down, conduit, run the electrical wires, put the foam in, build the deck, put the aluminum on, and then paint the inside and get the console mounted in again, because it fell off when I flipped the boat over. It was about to fall off anyways. Get that all riveted in, get the floor riveted in, paint it, and then I got this EVA foam, just some cheap stuff I got off of Amazon. I kind of want to put that down in there a little bit. I don't have enough to do the entire boat, but I have enough to do the bow and the seat in there. That's mainly what I wanted to do, was to do the deck I built in the front and the seat. That way when you're standing on the deck fishing, your feet ain't burning up. And the seat, I want to put that down. But yeah, it's coming together. I mean, it's a process, that's it. But I'm gonna get back at it. It's the next day. I didn't have enough time to finish everything I wanted to yesterday, but I think today it is. I think today we're going to get it completely sanded, get all the rivets cleaned, get the epoxy on it, and then at least try to get it painted. That is the plan for today, and let's get back at it. Alright y'all, I got the transom all cleaned up. I have a little electrolysis going on around these bolts and stuff. And the same on this, I'm sure it's under here too. But I got some holes from the electrolysis right here that I need to patch up. But I got this side done, I got the top done, transom's finished, this side's done. The only thing left for me to do is to clean up this side. I'm gonna take these lights off because I got some new ones to go on it, and yeah, that'll be that. And then next step is to clean it. I need to blow off all this dust and aluminum and paint and all that. And then once I get it all cleaned, then I got some mineral spirits that I'm gonna run through with it and just kind of deep clean it, get all the grime and everything off of it. And then once we do that, I'm gonna go through with this West Systems aluminum boat repair and seams and rivets and everything else, and patch holes up, all the electrolysis holes up with it. And then it'll be time to paint. And then once I get this side painted, we'll let that dry, probably do 2 coats. And then once that's dried, I can flip the boat over and start this process all over again on the inside. And then once the inside's done with the painting and getting all that off and everything, and it's time to run the wires and the conduit and the foam, and then put the aluminum in. Alright y'all, I got everything sanded and all of the paint taken off and all the rivets cleaned out and everything. It's ready to go now. Now it's time to clean it all off and then start filling in them holes. Alright, so I just read over the directions on what needs to happen here. So you just mix these two, you just mix both of these equal parts into there. Use one of these right here and stir it around, and then suck it up in one of these syringes, and then along the seam in the middle of the boat, I'm just going to go through and just squeeze that in there. And they said you can heat it up with a torch to make it thinner, so it'll seep into all the cracks and crevices better. And then all those holes and stuff, I'm gonna use some of this right here to mix into my concoction, and you can be able to smooth it over any of the small holes and stuff. Alright guys, so I got my boat all sealed up with the epoxy. I just got to do a couple more little things. Some down here. I gotta fill in these. Those are the holes, but I'm gonna fill in all this stuff right here. I'm gonna fill in these holes along here, that hole there. You know, just all these little holes. I'm just gonna fill in all those holes and get them all watertight. And then once I do that, we'll let the epoxy set and dry. And then once it's dried, then we'll be able to paint. Hoping to paint later this afternoon as long as the epoxy's dry. That's our main concern. Alright, it's the next day. The epoxy has set for 24 hours, so it's nice and hard now. It ain't even tacky or anything. And that sealed it up pretty good. It's all nice and hard all the way down it. It's not soft anywhere. And that was the main thing that leaked on this boat, was this seam right here. None of the rivets ever leaked. It was mainly just this. It has been patched a couple times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8 times, I guess. So 9, there's one there. So here's what I'm gonna do to prep it for paint. I'm gonna just use normal Dawn dish soap, a wash mitt, 5-gallon bucket, and the dish soap is just gonna get all the grease and the grime and the dirt, and see, look, it's gonna get all that stuff off so the paint will stick nice and evenly. Alright y'all, it's been a couple hours. The boat is all dried off from washing it. I just got this little thing to put the paint in. And I've got a little roller and some foam rollers. What I'm just going to do is pour the paint into there and then just start rolling it on. Alright, y'all. I got the whole boat painted. It's just one coat, but everything's painted. I did the rub rail all the way around, but all the sides, the bow and the transom, everything in the middle. It's looking good. Tomorrow I will do a second coat and then let that sit, and then we can flip it over and start doing the inside. So I'll see y'all tomorrow when this paint's dry. Alright, y'all, it's been a couple days since I painted the boat. Back at it now to do another coat on it, but I guess the dew and all that washed the paint off. I don't know what happened here. I guess when it was still wet and then it dewed and the humidity, it started to wash the paint off when the dew got on it.
See where it ran down.
Yeah, you can see like the runs in it from where dew must have got on it, and then it dripped down. I think I'm just gonna throw another coat on it and see how that does. And now that I'm doing it like in the morning, it can get set before tonight, so the dew won't wash it off again. But see, it's all over. It's in the front right here. You see it run down. This side looks good. This side has nothing wrong with it. Just needs another coat. But I think that's what happened. I'm not entirely sure on what happened, but we're gonna throw another coat on it and then see how that does. And I might need to do a third coat if this one doesn't stick pretty good. Alright, y'all, it's been a couple days since I put that second coat on the boat. Everything's looking perfect. It came out looking really good. That second coat really cleaned it up. Remember this spot right here where it was washed off from the dew? But everything is looking really good. It came out really nice. I'm super happy with it. So y'all keep an eye out for the next video. The part 2 of this, we're gonna flip the boat over and we're gonna start working on the inside. We're gonna get it all sanded off, get the floor in, get the electrical in, get the console mounted, get the motor back on it, get it back on the trailer, and it's gonna be a good boat. I'm super happy with how it's coming out so far. So thank y'all for watching. Make sure to like, share, and subscribe. I'll catch you all on the next one.